Big Day Out 2012, and I'm joined by Chris Cornell and Ben Shepherd from Soundgarden. Welcome and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Wonderful to have you back in Australia, not only on the Big Day Out tour again, but as Soundgarden, a reunited force. And I guess we know that in layman's terms, it was pretty much a tweet that got you back together. But what was the driving force behind coming back after 15 odd years?
Yeah, I don't know. We just wanted to do it, really. I mean, part of it was just taking on the responsibility of making sure that people hear our music, that we'd already created, that legacy, but it just kind of led naturally into getting together to maybe play a show, and then, and that turned into a tour, and then as soon as we were playing music in a room, we might as well write new music, because that's what we do. So there was no BS politics that we had to deal with, or sort of broken relationships that needed to be repaired or anything like that. It was pretty simple.
I thought we were all here randomly. I just ran into you the other day and said, "Hey, you want to play a show?"
And then we thought, yeah, sure. What are you doing here?
Over there.
People liken getting a band back together as, getting back with an old girlfriend, and you remember the things you love, you remember the things you hate. What are some of the things that you're remembering now as you've played the Gold Coast, you've played New Zealand? Are things coming back?
Not band stuff. It's just more like the hurry up and wait. Forgot all about that, and immediately remember it when it happens.
Yeah, I think once we were in a room just going through songs for a set, I remembered a few things. One of them is there's just sort of this element of chaos when we all start playing a song together, and I don't know what it is, but it's there. And I'd sort of forgotten about that.
And our lapse of attention span at a
Yeah.
certain point during rehearsals, you can tell when we're, all right, we're rehearsed enough.
Yeah, I used to always say though, after a week of rehearsal, we get a lot better, and then 2 days after that, we start to get worse fast, because we get bored fast, and then it's like, oh, you can only rehearse so much for us. And then writing songs for a new album, similar to that, just the creative relationship. Everyone in Soundgarden brings out a different side to me, and it's very specific, and I hadn't really experienced it in a while, and so that was like a time machine too, just like all of a sudden feeling like no time had passed at all, like we'd had a year off or something.
So what's it like being in Soundgarden right now in this instance?
It's pretty cool, really. We're kind of our own thing, which we always have been our own thing. But I think now we're sort of left to be our own thing. It's not like sort of trying to put us into a scene based on geography, or based on what instruments we play, or based on what label we're on, or anything like that. We just eventually kind of took up our own space in music history, and that's a good place to be, I think. I think it's better than being tied in with 20 other things, or a moment in time, or...
Because you've all had your individual projects, and you've had your time away from each other, so I guess, in a sense, this must be a renewed energy.
I think it's where, Soundgarden's sort of where it belongs now. We're just sort of out there on our own, doing what we do, and that's the way we always felt, but, weren't always perceived that way. We're always part of some other thing.
Yeah, now I don't have to play piano at the department store anymore. I can relax and play bass.
Mm-hmm.
You never played piano in a department store.
Not at all.
You did mention writing new music, however.
Piano.
You did mention writing new music, however, and you're working with Adam Kessler on the new record.
Casper.
Adam Casper, who you've worked with before, and he's
That's
done.
another guy that hasn't aged or changed at all in any way.
See, I don't think you guys
Either
have.
that or Kessler.
Yeah, he's even more
kidding.
Kessler. Just the relationship working with him is exactly the same as it used to be. It's like right back to it. Same relaxed understanding.
What are some of those songs sounding like?
Soundgarden.
Yeah. It's hard to... You can't really compare it to old music or older albums, because from album to album we always kind of progress anyway. But it's a natural progression to me. It's just like picking up where we left off.
I want to talk about the Gold Coast. There was a little bit of controversy while you were playing your set. What actually happened?
Nothing really.
Nothing.
I guess it was sort of 2/3 of the way into the set. I started hearing something, and I didn't know where it was coming from. But it was sort of surreal, and it sounded like somebody. What it was like they were line checking next to us, but it just sounded like this weird, surreal, strange.
I thought it was funny that Kim thought that you were talking over his guitar solo. He's like,
yeah,
what?
he thought I
Chris
was
singing
speaking
along to
while he was playing guitar. Yeah, so I just made fun of that, and that was
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
It wasn't Kanye West. We didn't think it was Kanye West. It had nothing to do with him. But then people ran away saying that that was what happened, or that I've actually read that we were both playing at the same time, which wasn't true. And everyone could see that because both stages were right in front of the
It sounded
audience.
more like RF.
Yeah,
In
like radio
festival
frequencies
settings, that
coming
happens
in.
all the time.
Yeah.
You can tell.
But we didn't know what it was.
How
It's
long
weird,
did it
though.
last for?
I don't know.
15 minutes, maybe.
Which
Not
must
sure.
have been a little irritating when you're getting through your set.
It's not such a big deal.
I was already
Really.
irritating myself on
Yeah.
that one. I couldn't hear very well.
Yeah, we cause problems for ourselves
Yeah.
just as much.
We're
kind
our
of
own
problems?
Controversy.
Oh, you never know when we're on stage. Could be
Self-arguments.
anything.
Yeah.
This is your third big day out, and obviously it's changed a lot since you were here last. What are some of the changes you've noticed?
I can't tell.
Me either.
don't
What's
really know.
changed?
Yeah.
Well, last time you
It's
were
a
here,
field.
Ben,
There's people there,
Yeah.
and I played a big day out with Audio Slave too, and so there's a third one, and I still don't really have a. It's a music festival. you
some
know?
people say it's hard to quantify the big day out.
Well, I guess if they're doing their job right, it kind of should be, though, in a way. I mean, it doesn't need to be more complicated than it's an outdoor music festival, I don't think.
Ben, last time you were here, you copped a beer bottle in the nose.
No big deal.
No big deal.
Happens all the time.
Is there a scar or anything on
No,
your
hit
nose
me
that we
right
can
here.
see?
Broke my nose right there on the septum.
Yikes.
I didn't remember that.
No, the show kept going on. My bass amp died, and I stabbed my bass rig and snapped the headstock off my bass and handed it to my bass tech and said, "That's your severance pay, Mickey." Because they promised me my rig wouldn't die. That whole tour,
Yeah,
my
it
rigs
was
were
dying.
So I was all
Yeah.
riled up.
How's the rigs now?
You never know.
Chiller.
Anything could
You don't
happen.
know. One note could blow them up. I tried last night. It didn't work.
You tried to blow up your rig last night.
For the feedback opera. at the
What do you
end.
do? How does one try to blow up
It's all
their
in your
rig?
chi or your key.
Yeah, because like they can take it. You can turn
I'm
everything
not
all the way up.
wearing
It doesn't
my
do anything.
boots, though, so it's all different. Yeah, they do take it different.
What's the process like getting a set list together with your incredible back catalogue, 5 albums to it?
Matt's writing it right now.
Yeah, Matt's doing it right now. So right now, this is the process. We're talking to you, and Matt's
And then
doing
you
that.
say yay or nay on a song. Because the guys, the crew will go, okay, you have this amount of minutes. Right?
Yeah.
The stage manager. You guys are going over on this. So to choose songs.
And this is a short tour, so it's like well, a lot of the songs are going to be similar from night to night. But as we go through like a tour, we change them just
Yeah.
because we have so many. And but this is a short set. It's an hour and 15.
And it's full of greatest hits, which I know the audience have been going nuts
Yeah, it's
for.
all like Everly Brothers and
Mhm.
Beatles.
Chris,
The
are you,
Archies.
Yeah, the Archies.
how much do you enjoy singing, songs like Jesus Christ Posed, Outshined, Black Hole Sun?
It's great. You know, some of the songs that sort of technically I would imagine should be the hardest for me to sing are just kind of fun and almost like it doesn't really require a brain probably because we played so much and we toured so much for so long that it's kind of second nature. And also it feels good. We're a loud, super loud, chaotic band, and that feels good because there's some other element happening when we're on stage playing that isn't just the parts of the songs. That there's this sonic element that takes on its own life, and you can sometimes see these little portals into it where you can go and influence it a little bit here and there. And other times you're just sort of a victim of it. Whatever it is going to do, it's going to do, and you get carried away by it. And so it's a ride. It's like very chaotic, and you never know what's going to happen. And I've never had that situation ever, except for with these guys.
So it's like a family in a sense. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure. We were children when we met.
who whips your ass? Who's, in a family you always have someone that whips your ass.
We don't really have that.
You're
I think
a
it
democracy.
depends on who it is and what
Yeah.
what mood they're in, and
If someone tried that, we'd avoid them.
yeah.
We'd skip school and go somewhere else.
Soundgarden's always been kind of the squeakiest, like whoever's the most passionate about whatever that specific thing is in the moment is the one that will just fall out. Because obviously they've thought about it, you know.
Yeah, oh yeah.
If someone's really into it, then that's sort of the direction that we'll take. Jesus, someone's calling me.
We talked before about some of your best big day out memories. Who is it? Is anyone exciting?
This means the interview's over. It's
The
like the
Rock.
Oscars acceptance speech.
Who is it? Anyone exciting? No. Yeah, I see you've got like one of those little phones that people take when they have an Australian SIM
Yeah.
card.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You mentioned some big day out memories before the interview started. Swimming pools.
Oh, with the drowning tube in it.
Yeah, I remember the Smashing Pumpkins on one of the tours we did. Just because they all got really bad sunburns in the first hour we were in Australia. Like, you know, we landed, we got off the plane, and then,
they're
then
all
the whole band was
Chicago
pink,
kids.
you know, and then also touring with
Ramones.
the Ramones was
That's when we
great.
first met the Ramones, really. Like,
We met them
What a memory to
in a
have
lobby
as
of a
well.
hotel waiting to check in. The whole tour was waiting to check in. And there was some guy with one of those laser pen lights,
Yep.
and he was shining it in everyone's faces. And then I stood up and like threatened to kill him. And then the next thing you know, I hear these voices, and it's Ben and Kim talking to Johnny Ramone. And I just kind of recognized his voice. And he was notorious for just being grumpy, and he was like complimenting us on a Ramones song we had done, and we talked to him for a minute, and then that was it. We were all friends from that point on with them, and we brought the Ramones out on tour in the States for Lollapalooza after that.
What
So
an incredible memory.
yeah, so that was a great big day out thing that happened.
Well, I'm sure you'll make a lot of memories as you wind your way around Australia. But Chris and Ben, not only is it good to have you back in Australia, but it's great to have Soundgarden back and playing. And I wish you best of luck with the brand new record and the rest of the year.
Thank you.
thanks.